So welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be giving you guys a little raw, uncut update of the fish room. I was down here feeding the fish and I said, you know what, let me pick the camera up and show you guys some of the tanks. Plus I set up a new tank down here in the fish room. It's back there. We'll dive more into that here in just a second. But will go through and feed some fish and show you guys some of the tanks down here. Still got all our beautiful angels. Let me turn the aperture down on these guys so you can see them a lot better. But these guys have been doing amazing. Haven't did anything with this tank yet. Just been focusing on the fish, making sure they're healthy and eating and doing good, because I got these from a anonymous person. I didn't know exactly how good and how healthy these fish were, but they are doing amazing. And the other fish in here are called some Ghana cars. You can see they are starting to put on some color and some size. Can't wait to really do this tank, just haven't got around to it. Been looking at a lot of pictures online, seeing where these fish come from in the wild, so that way I can recreate that habitat in this aquarium. So we'll definitely get to that. Just been so busy with life and haven't had a chance to do anything with this tank yet. I was already feeding these guys, but we'll put a little bit more food in here for them, making sure everybody is nice and fat and healthy. But definitely one of my most beautiful angels I've ever kept in my 20 years of keeping fish, man. These guys are amazing. Look at those red eyes on them. Like, I couldn't even tell you where to get these fish from. Like, I just got lucky with these guys. I got super lucky. I know people asking, like, where did I get them from? I got lucky. I literally got lucky, and I'm just super thankful for them, because they are some beautiful angel fish. Over here, still got our peacocks and hap going. Haven't went out and bought anything new for this tank. Definitely we'll be picking up some fish here soon. Just haven't got around to it, but just so busy, like I said. But I'll just be making sure the fish is fed, making sure I'm changing the water, making sure the fish is healthy. That's really all that matters. I haven't really bought any new fish down here in the fish room. As you can see, I got enough fish. I bet if I sat down and really did the math and count how many fish I had, I'm sure it's in the thousands. I got a lot of fish down here. So lately, I really haven't been buying a lot of fish, just been working with what I already have and making sure these guys are nice and healthy. Down here, this tank, I don't think you guys seen this, but this is all the females to the males that are up top. And then I'm also growing out a few different species of fish in here. So we got some albino Tyron reeds. We got some electric blue fry in here I'm growing out. And then, like I said, all the rest of the females to the peacocks and haps that are up top. And eventually, you know, if I decide I want to go back to breeding these guys, you know, I still have the females. But right now, I just kind of want to have a nice male peacock and hap tank. And we're working on it. Things just take time. This tank, I was already just feeding these guys, so they kind of like docile right now, but the Giardini got a whole mouthful of tilapia right now. And the Oscar, he hiding because he probably got a mouthful. Everybody just hiding. But I could probably put a little bit of bloodworms and some brine shrimp in here for these guys, and I'm sure they would eat. They done got the tank already cloudy and everything because I was feeding them. But I'm sure the Severums and the Flag Festums and the Silver Dollars might eat a little bit of this bloodworm and some brine shrimp. But I got a dope fish coming to the fish room probably, actually this weekend. I got a dope fish coming. I'm going to be pairing him off with the Giardini in a whole new tank. So make sure you guys stay tuned for that. This is going to be probably one of my dopest fish down here, in my opinion, as far as like exoticness. It's going to be a super exotic fish, and I can't wait to pick him up this weekend. So make sure you guys stay tuned. There's always things brewing and changing down here. These guys are doing amazing. All my guppies and pleco, you see how many babies it is in here. Get y'all a good look. Look at how many guppies it is right now. And they all out and about because I was just putting food in here. We'll put a little bit more. The mystery snail's been going like crazy. You can see there's a little clutch right here. And then the one I showed you guys in the last video over here. I'm not seeing any baby mystery snails though, which is weird. So I don't know what's up with that, but I'm not really tripping too much. But it's just nice to see that they are actually breeding in here. That lets me know that the water quality is up to par. And I have not did a water change on this tank probably in about a month. And the plants are just thriving. Everything is just, the ecosystem is just literally perfect in this tank, man. That's one thing I love about keeping like guppy tanks. You really don't have to do much to them. Just put some plants, let the ecosystem take over. Sometimes I get in there and pull out a lot of little hair algae and things like that, but for the most part, I do no maintenance on this aquarium. Super dope, super dope, man. Over here, we still got all our other South and Central Americans. We'll go ahead and feed these guys a little bit, put a little bit of some tilapia in here for them. I know they ready to eat. Oh, look at the pike just stole one. Oh, y'all being shy right now. I was just feeding them pellets, so they might not be too excited about the shrimp and tilapia. But you can see we got our little sun catfish right here. Surprised he ain't came through and snagged something up yet. These guys are doing amazing. I'm still gonna be moving them to a new tank, just haven't got around to it. Down here, I got my group of Williamson blue lips. I've been breeding these guys for over a year, and I moved them back into this breeding tank. So I got, I think, 2 males and the rest are females, and they have been producing like crazy. I'm gonna show you guys them babies here in just a second. But these are really awesome African cichlid. You can see that nice big male right there. And what I like about these guys the most is that they colony breed. You know, they don't eat their babies, they colony breed, and they don't kill each other. They're like one of the best mabunas I think that are out there personally, and they the biggest mabunas too. Like, look how big that male is, and he's not even a year old, and he's huge, super huge. Their babies are actually right here. Got tons of their babies in this tank. We'll feed these guys a little bit. So we got tons of Williamson blue lip babies. These guys are probably maybe about a month old, give or take. They're definitely putting on some size and growing. Gonna move them out of here to maybe like a 40 breeder here soon, but for right now they're doing just fine in this aquarium. Just fine. So if you want some Williamson blue lips, I'm definitely gonna have a million of them here soon. Let's go ahead and feed these other little babies over here. These are some mixed African cichlid. These are some hungais and some hybrids in here as well. So not exactly sure what these fish are going to look like in the long run, but you know, I love all the fish, so I'm gonna raise them up and make sure they're healthy, and we'll see what we do with them in the future. We got probably about 50 or 60 of those guys in there as well, and they got a pretty decent size. Let's go ahead and feed this tank. Definitely want to redo this tank right here. Might not redo it too much, but I just want to maybe put some different fish in this tank. I've had a lot of these fish for a really long time, so I'm thinking about maybe putting some different fish in this tank. So if you guys got any ideas or what type of fish I should put in this tank, let me know, because I definitely would like to do something different with it. It's kind of been like this for quite some time, and I just want to switch it up. The plants in here need a little bit of pruning. You can see we got a little bit of deadness on some of the plants, a little bit of algae growing on the back glass, but for the most part, the ecosystem is pretty stable in here. As you can see, all this pothos is just growing like crazy. It's growing in the water, it's growing out the water, it's growing over into that tank. It just grows like crazy down here. Got a little bit more food in there for them. But they looking good, doing good. Now over here to our beautiful Hecalites. You guys remember I set this tank up maybe about a week or so ago now. These guys have been doing amazing. Still my favorite fish down here. Literally, like, I don't care what nobody say, these Hecalites are amazing. And like I said, the color of them is just second to none. Even with just a regular old shop light, they just be popping with color. Look at that male, just beautiful. So these guys like to eat a lot of bloodworms from brine shrimp, but they also enjoy them some pellets, and they'll eat a little bit of shrimp as well. So I really like the diet with these guys because I don't really have to be so picky with how I feed them. I kind of pretty much feed them anything, and they will eat, along with like the Severals and the Angels. They'll pretty much eat anything. But these guys have been doing amazing. This tank has been doing amazing. I've really been enjoying watching it and hanging out with this tank. It's been super cool. And you guys really enjoyed that. Y'all killed that video, man. I definitely did. Down here we got my, look at these, we just went crazy. We got the electric blue Johannes, we got the yellow labs, and then I think there's a male Kenya in there as well, which I need to take out because he is a little bit of aggressive. But these guys have been looking good, doing good. Haven't had any spawning out of them, which I'm not really too worried about. I just kind of want to have like a nice little show tank with some blue and yellow Africans, and I think I was able to accomplish that. They definitely eating good though. They love them some bloodworms and brine shrimp. I swear they do. Still got all our beautiful fish in here. Our little plecos. Let me see if we get a shot of them. Our L44 King Tigers. Still kicking, doing amazing. This tank is a little cloudy right now because I put a whole bunch of algae wafers in here. The tank got super cloudy from that, so tank is a little cloudy. But for the most part, it's doing amazing. The plants ain't doing worth the crap in here though. You see that Amazon sword back there is just wilting away. It ain't doing good at all. I don't know what that's about, but really ain't too worried about. As long as my fish is healthy, that's all I really care about. The fish is doing good. That's all that matters. Still got our black ram. Still got our other rams in here as well. Got a nice female right there. No spawning out of them, but they are doing amazing. Now let's talk about this home. Before we talk about the new tank, I want to show you guys these. See, these are all my electric blue cars. And as you can see, all these little babies in here are swimming about. Look at all these electric blue car babies. But look at mom being super mean. She got dad hiding behind that little pot back there. So I need to take him up out of here. I'm actually tonight going to move all the babies out of here and move them to a different tank, so that way they can get back to spawning, so I can get another batch out of him. I've just been making sure that these guys are nice and healthy and big before I had separate them from the parents. But you can see we have tons and tons of electric blue car babies in here. Like, I haven't did a count, but I would say it's at least a few hundred. Just off GP, just looking at them, there's at least a few hundred babies in there. So that's exciting. New fish, new babies. Now let's talk about this new tank. So this is a 20 long, and I was kind of didn't know what fish to put in here, but I know I want to have like a nice deep substrate in here, and I also wanted to do a nice plants in here. So I went ahead and just threw some guppies in here that I already had down here in the fish room. These are some, I'm not exactly sure the type of them, but I think they're like some black mosaic guppies, and they've been spawning and breeding pretty good for me. I got quite a few babies in here. You look all throughout the tank, there's just babies everywhere, all up in here. So I decided to put them guys in here because I knew they wouldn't mess with the substrate very much. Because this is nice, like this is like aqua soil up under here, and I didn't want any fish in here that was going to be digging into the sand and making this like water, like chocolate milk. So I just kept these guppies in here, and I'm gonna let them just do their thing. So you guys let me know, did I take a W on this tank? Very simple tank, very simple setup. Just running some Crips plants in here. I got this stone in here. I've had this stone for probably like 2 years. I think I paid like 80 bucks for all this little rock. And I've had this for quite some time. I really like it. It got like a nice little shimmer and shine to it. So just a cool little skate, nothing crazy. Just something different down here in the fish room. And if anybody know me, know I love my little guppies, man. So I had to get them going up in here. And we got little pothos hanging over there, you know, get a little bit of aesthetics. Down here, let's feed these Maltese. These guys ain't really too big of fans of the bloodworms, but they do like the brine shrimp though. And I haven't had any more spawning out of them, which is crazy to me. I don't know why I'm not having any more babies. I had like 1 or 2 good spawns, and then the colony just like stopped on me. So I don't know what that's about. Maybe I need to separate them and put a pair in a 10-gallon or a 20-gallon by themselves and see if I can get them going. But for right now, they is just existing. That's all they doing, is just existing. But I still love them. You can see they've been moving all the sand around, creating their own little beds and stuff. pretty interesting fish to just sit and watch when they not hiding. You see we got a couple little babies in there, little small ones, but no new hatchlings. Maybe they already in the cage, I mean in the shells, and I just don't see them. Still got my breeding pair of angels in here, doing good. Then I have these other shellies in here as well that I'm going to be setting up a nice little escape for. They might actually come down here to this 20 long because I haven't did anything with that tank yet. But for right now, I just got them up in here hanging out with the angels, and I haven't had any new spawning from these black angels, and that's probably because these fish are in here. But eventually, I will move everything around here soon. But that's a little gist of what's going on down here in the fish room. This tank, I'm going to be doing an overhaul. You guys will see a video of that. I got to do something about this tank. It is just like, I don't know. It's just not doing it for me no more. So I got to do something with this one. And I need to do something with this one over here. So things are going to be changing down here in the fish room. So make sure you guys stay tuned for all that. But that's going to be pretty much it for today's video. Just wanted to give you guys a little look at the fish room, show you guys this new tank that I set up, and talk about some things that I got going on. So that's it. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Like and subscribe. I'm out of here.